being sentenced for 3 years. Only by writing an email that was not hand-delivered to the chairperson, that was delivered at the public offices of the CRL Commission at the reception. And this man was simply sharing his view as a Christian, that when you do such things to godly people, there will be consequences, not physically, spiritually. Not physically, spiritually. There will be consequences. You are inviting a dark cloud. You are inviting negativity to yourself. And this man, let me share with you, he lives in a shelter. He had no criminal offense before. He was not carrying a gun, even a spray gun. He had nothing. The magistrate said to him, "Why? Who are you to go to the chairperson? Who is she? She's untouchable. And that's why she's playing victim. She's now the victim. Are we also not the victims? When she displays us as rogue, that's what the newspaper said, rogue pastors. Are we also not victims? What if society harms us? What if society says, yes, katele yini, we are now going to kill you? Because as Mr. Swain have explained, that there are practices. I mean, even yesterday you saw on the news, a man who raped some of his congregants. When you appear as a commission who is supposed to, but negative things in religion. I've never heard the commission saying, as much as there are negativities, but there are also good things. Churches who are feeding the poor. Churches who are helping the lost. Let me mention personally, we had a ceremony yesterday where I took 6 ex-prostitutes of Hillbrow and I paid 120,100 to enroll them in a business opportunity for them to come out of the streets. I'm talking about myself. How many religious leaders are here? And if we can ask each one of them what their churches or their organizations have done. If this process was legitimate, you are supposed to have a commission that comes and says, South Africans, yes, there are these, but also we commend the good religious. They've never encouraged us. The question is, what is the intention? Even if we invited them. Throughout these processes, by peaceful protests. Because the commission is anti anyone who does not agree with them. If you do not agree with this commission, you are seen as an... We saw on the address, when you summoned us, you knew our addresses. Why you did not invite us then when the report is out? The reply was that no, because you are not part. Which means you did not agree, so you are not part of us. Now here is the question, ladies and gentlemen. How do we trust such a biased, abusive, liars? And let me support my lying party. when they were saying all over media, there are only 3 problematic religious leaders. I only heard now that Fossa is included. There were 3. Pastor Chris, Prophet Hadebe, Prophet Impor. 3. Who did not come to CRL. Which is a complete go. Went to and I wrote through legal advice a letter that stated that I will not participate in the process. And my reasons are these. I respect it. But today, we hear them on 702 speaking as if we received phone calls that invited us to the commission. Why are they deceiving South Africans? Why are they in every channel and every newspaper? This is propaganda. They are trying to sell something to people. Why are they selling something? If this is a legitimate process, you are a chapter 9 problem, then you have nothing to hide. As they are saying, we are hiding something. And before I go down, my church is registered. My church is audited. And let me make something clear to religious leaders. You don't have to have your church audited. That's not the law. You need to have accountants, all your books to be properly done and handed over to, not CRL, to SARS. My church, I did not appoint auditors in 2015 when CRL began. My church was audited since it started. I took the decision. In the previous years, I take the audit report on the altar and say to my church members, here is our audit report. It's done. Here are the results. And I'll make another thing clear. My calling does not come from education. Come from spirituality, not education. My grandfathers and great-grandfathers were prophets. But I took a conscious decision to go and study. Hence I received the doctorate. It's not my house is in order. I would have gone, and if it's a test, Mr. Swain, I don't know what this was, an investigation or a test, I don't know what it was. If it was a test, I would have passed with flying colors. I would have passed with flying colors. Because, by the way, the real crooks, because you know how crooks are. Crooks will say, what's happening? What does CRL want? Let's quickly fix and do. Because if we don't go, we'll be inviting them to be after us. Let's shut them off and go. That's what crooks will do. Where do we get the nerve to stand up and say no if we know that we have things to hide? Because if the relevant institutions, the proper institutions, your SARS and other institutions who are supposed to be dealing with these issues, legally. No, we are not standing up. The question is, why other religions are not? We have to also understand within religion who we are. First, kuna magwala. First of all, kuna magwala. Cowards. Who will stand behind and say, Hambani madoda? We don't want to appear bad. As abafundis. Hambani nina, appear on the newspaper, appear everyone, be called this, be threatened, go to jail. Martin Luther King, when he was arrested, he wrote a letter and asked religious leaders, why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? Because the CRL matter does not need a rocket scientist. And my question is, why politicians are quiet? Why are they quiet? Hence, personally, I suspect this is politically motivated. The other kind of religious leaders are the other religious leaders who are still seeking some kind to pray. What is obedience? Yeah. What is obedience? Are we not obedient when we are here? Because we are not fighting a commission. We are not fighting a government. We are simply standing up and saying, no, but here it's wrong. We are not fighting a commission. And those other religious leaders, whom even if things are wrong, they say we'll pray. So therefore, up for our own religion. You know, a study was made. And that study is and through that study, they made a list of things that sick people should try to do in order to assist their health. And part of that list was go to church. You know that? Because church has an effect. Look at our country now. Look at our country. Many times when I travel abroad, when the aeroplane starts landing in OR Tambo, in all these years, I used to feel so good back home. Since this commission started, and all these things that are happening, I don't have to mention them. This is not a political rally. We know what's happening. When I land in OR Tambo, it is buhlungu. Because you have a country that if you are not politically connected, you are nothing. If you are not politically connected, you are just, no one will hear your voice. No one will listen to you. Why are we not being listened to? And lastly, a commission that is supposed to be fair and respect every religious leader. Either you have a constituency of 1 or 2 people, or you have a constituency of 1 million. Why the chief rabbi has come? I am not Lichanyana. And I am not Chief Rabbi. I am Prophet Hateb. You like me, you don't like me, you agree with my doctrine, you do not agree, as long as my doctrine is not harmful. It's none of your business. Treat me with respect. Treat Bishop Wasezayoni in the school with 10 people. Those 10 people were not hijacked. Those 10 people are going to that church out of their own consciousness, love, and willingness. Treat him with respect. That has displayed arrogance. Check. One stage, I was watching. He personally spoke against tithe. It's a commission. They are not supposed to enter in doctrines. He spoke against tithe. I was listening. He said there's no such thing as tithe. Something of the Old Testament. So, Mnumzana, are you a deputy chairperson of a commission? Or what are you? Are you now going to lead us in religion and supported by government? You see, if there was a monthly budget, I would then understand. Yeah, for churches, if there was a monthly budget, if I was someone, I would run. Because I know that that's where my bread comes. They don't even know how we began our churches. How we are paying rent. Our own churches are fighting poverty in the states that has recently come and said things are worse. Poverty line has grown in South Africa. You go to our churches, including mine, we have employed a lot of people. Not to waste time, program director, so that people can pose their questions. Before I go down, I want to warn all of you. I want to warn South Africa that be very careful. That history does not repeat itself. We must be, because if Parliament will agree and pass this bill, and the very commission starts to regulate, start to dictate in religion, there will be no more religion. Because when you start to speak the truth, you will receive a termination letter that says your license is terminated. And I'll tell you why. They are not accusations. When I started speaking on a slot that my church pays for on Soweto TV, speaking about the commission, the CRL went to the station and told them to stop me. How come? They are on every TV station when we use our religious slots, because this is part of religion. We are not out of the way. It's affecting religion. They went to Sowetan TV and told them to stop me. There is a new TV program or a new company that's going to be launching. They came and said, Prophet Hateb, we've identified your church, would like you to be part of this new TV station. That is coming. When I looked at the presentation, the bodies that will regulate the stations, which we all know, ICASA, all the ones that know. But surprisingly, there was CRL. And I asked them, what is CRL doing here? Because they don't regulate TV content. So, we also have read in the newspapers before that they also went to the advertisers of billboards. And the advertisers' lawyer said, no, we have nothing to do. As long as the content goes with our protocol, we cannot interfere in people's adverts. Why this commission wants to dictate what you say on TV? Very soon, when they receive that power to license, they will tell us what to preach. And they will tell us that, no, you don't have to preach this. So, Banbagiti, we are heading for disaster. And in Africa, in South Africa, I can say now, the only thing we have, when I see people in church,
Thank you very much, Dr. Prophet Khadebe. Distinguished guests, we've been warned. We have to be careful. The truth above all is the truth above all. I'm now going to be opening up the floor for questions, and I'm going to have a few rules because we have run out of time, and I do not want media to leave us before hearing what we have to say. The way we're going to be going about it, I'm going to ask the young people in orange, I know they want to talk, but I want them to have, if the crew can help us, have been put on the spot by the CRL. Where they're able to respond. And I'm going to ask that not everybody sitting here should ask a question because we'll never finish. But I just want to see how many hands. I'm going to actually ask that at least 4 questions come out of here. And then we'll see how it goes. Same applies for youth. We're going to ask 4 people to ask questions. And as well, from our congregants. Perhaps a lot of questions from the people we lead, because they have never been given the opportunity to say what they have to say about their religion. Thank you very much. Can I have a raise of hands from the leadership group? And I'm going to ask, when you stand up, please tell us your name, the organization that you lead, and just shoot into the question. And can we be as brief as possible and stay on the point?
Sanibona nonke. Ubuholi bonke obusendlini, all protocol observed. Bishop
kakhulu baba, Ndizawucela omnye umbuzo kweli cala. Bekukho isandla. Ewe mama.
Molweni Lothe.
I'm the secretary of Amai.
I think wants to take us back 580.
Bele.
Siyabonga bahlonishwa, ngiyabonga program director, ngiyabonga namngcubeleli phakathi. Angisho nje ukuthi uthe uba prophet minds introduction yakhe lapho, the only time it was
Greetings to everyone. I have two questions to ask. I'm Apostle Dr. Prince Benjamin from Yovel Pastors / Ministers Forum. My question one is, now the government are fighting churches because of noise pollution. What of the tavern and some taxi drivers would open the volume of their music loud, the metro will be there, seeing them, and they don't talk. Then again, also want to ask, then churches, then traditional leaders, like also Muslim, Hindus, and the other religions. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm now going to take the last question. Bishop.
Issues we are facing in our communities. We show responsibilities and take the church away, destroy our communities, our youth that are already the target of drugs and alcohol, and you just name it. I've got one message, or just only one. This is not new to us as children of God. The Bible speaks about this. I've got one message for this Antichrist. I call it the Antichrist. This is the Antichrist. And if you are part of it, if you are
Thank you very much, leaders. I'm now going to ask 5 of the congregants to raise their hands and ask questions. And the last questions would be coming from the youth.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, our bishops, Prophet Khatebe, all protocol observed. You know, to live in South Africa today, to be a child of God in South Africa today is a very painful experience, because there is something that wants to take my right to worship, my right to choose to a religion that resonates with my spiritual being and my spiritual need. There is some take something away from the congregants. I was dreaming when I dreamed was predetermined. Your future was destined that for you to occupy your rightful place. Come and try. Because understand it, I'm not going to accept it. Unfortunately for you, congregants, the time is now and the time is here. We have to fight for what is rightfully ours. There is no hope in the world today. It is very much painful to live in South Africa. The hope that we found, something that gives us worship the God that we believe is going to bring about change in this world. So who are you, CRL? If there is a government that was appointed by as the out, if they start interfering on something, interfering with something that resonates with my future, with my being, with my life, with my journey, with my destiny. And you congregants who are keeping quiet, allowing CRL, if you have to by one of your representatives is a mouthful. So I'm not going to take 7 people as I see hands going up. Ma'am. Thank you.
Ngizobingelela endlini sanibonani nonke bakwethu ngomoya. Mina ngukhosi wakwamakhaya ngizalelwa eSoweto. I-question mina enginayo as South Africa umdabu. Inimbi yami ela eSouth Africa abakithi bafela idemocracy yalelizwe leli. Why iCRL isivusela ilonda ezaphola bona bayazigubha ngokuthi basicindezele lelizwe leli salivotela. Savotela idemocracy la kulelizwe leli. Savotela ukuthi nathi sikhululeke. Asikhululeke emoyeni, sikhululeke ngako konke siphila ngakho. Bangasicindezeli ngoba ingane zethu ezinye zigcwele emapipini la eDradini. Zifuna ukushunyayezwa, zifuna isandla sibafake endleleni. Abamuse ukusibulalela lelizwe leli. Eparlamente why abafundisi bangekho, abantu bomoya bangekho eparlamente. Siyabuza abantu base-Afrika, ngicela sinifake in brackets ukuthi abantu ukwazi ukuthi sivotelanga. Ngiyabonga.
Ngama ngiyacela abantu bakuthi zininzi ezandla ndiyanazi niyachiseka nikhawuleze ke ndizawuzama kodwa ndizonithatha nonke ndicela umama pha emva
sanibonani bantu abadala. Mina nginombuzo kakhulu ngeCRL. Ukuthi mina mangifuna ukuya etoilet. Akekho ongitshela ukuthi hamba manje uye etoilet. Kodwa iCRL iyakwazi ukuzongitshela ukuthi mina kumele ngenzeni ngereligion yami. mangiphisiwe mina ngifuna ukuyo I'm sorry bantu abadala ngiyaziyela etoilet akekho onginika umthetho ukuthi etoilet fika wenzeni kodwa manje ngale religion CRL sebefuna ukuzongitshela mina ukuthi manje kumele ngenzeni yini engayenza mina if ever angiphiswanga angeke ngiyengena etoilet ngaphiswanga labo right ukuthi ngitshela ukuthi petrol angiyiphuzi yanuki yabulala ngine right ukuthi ngitshela ukuthi inyoka idalelwe inyamazana ingangeke ngidle inyoka iyabulala kodwa how come wena eCRL uthi uzofundisa mina ngine 5 senses ukuthi inyoka idliwa yethi mina ngiyazi ukuthi inyoka idliwa so please stop
Siyabonga ma sengimuvela ngapha eWest Yebo baba Yebo baba Okay
Ngiyanibingelela nonke endlini and all protocol observed. Mangisho nje ukuthi iCRL sithathe ngesurprise because ianalysis yababumdongo was to the point. They never realized ukuthi as analysts singayi tear apart i-report yabo into a non-existing entity. And number 2, this question goes to Ubabu Uswain. There should be a lot of the Babu saying, will these people allow, or maybe the chairperson missions on, I can, from what I read on the report, there seem not to be any public engagements. A report should actually state that we met in public on these days in these provinces, and this is what the public felt. And this is their analysis on that. And number 2, we have sent petitions to everyone, and no one has responded to us. Maybe, again, they are afraid that we are going to tear their responses apart as well. Maybe Babu Sen can respond to that. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I think first and foremost, I just want to thank everyone who's around here. My name is Kahleko Panki Dladla. I'm from the SG movement. I'm the founder of the movement as well. Obviously, we are an ethical movement, which is serving genuine, because in our society we need morals. I think we've deterred from that. And I would just want to be brief, short and sweet and professional for Mr. Sway. How can you really define our constitution, our country, because of it's failing us, right? For example, how can you force a child 18 years of age or 16 years of age into marriage? That's totally unacceptable. Like really, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, right? And for another question for Bab Khatib. I think Bab Khatib, I think you're one of the most renowned men in our country. I think I can put you in the epiphany of all the great Malcolm X's, right? Malcolm X said this, the media is the most powerful entity, right, that can make the innocent guilty, right, and make the guilty look innocent. And Martin Luther King said, in order for us to strive for freedom is to fight and combat whatever which is now. So Bab Khatib, in a nutshell, my question is, can you briefly define to people what is moral consciousness and ethics? Which is totally unacceptable in our black culture, right? I'm not dead, I'm generation as black people, umuntu omdala vele I thank you very much, everyone, and thank you very much.
Molweni nonke mabandla endlu. Igama lami ngithanda uXolo Shosha. Yilungu le-RCG. Sizaqala ngombuzo. Sukela nini CRL uqaphela into okubana sisizukulwane sase West? Kuba kaloku ngoku isintu sethu sibekelwe phansi kuphakanyiswa iWest. Ivela phi into okubana iWest superior kune Africanism? Ivela phi lithatha phi loo nto leyo? Linye elami endizalicebisa apha endlini kuthiwa yi-Africa for Africans. So ithetha ukuthi loo nto amabandla ngawabantu. That means i-religion for the Christians. Simase zilawulele i-religion uba sifuna ihambe kweyiphi direction. Hayi i-politicians, hayi i-scientists zizosixelela uba masikholwe kanjani na. Ndinalo mbeko mbone xa kuphela. Enkosi.
The problem I'm having now is that even leaders are raising their hands now. We had our turn. And we will do, as soon as we're finished with the questions, we'll then address the questions because they're pointed questions to certain individuals. Would like to cover that. I'm going to take two people from the, I still have the youth. I haven't spoken to the youth. So, ngicela wena baba we Banjeli Gray. Nawe baba nobabili lapho aphambili.
Sanibona. Igama usenzo. Owami umbuzo uthi iCRL yenzeni ngalabantu abaphuzisa abantu petrol. Ngabe abantu bazile ngiyo iCRL bazo report ukuthi ipetrol isenza ukuthi iCRL ube basebenzisa labantu ufeza inhloso zabo ngaleso nyawo.
Siyabonga kakhulu baba nathi besibabuza ukuthi baphi labantu kodwa ke sinabahola abazosiphendulela. Yebo baba.
Molweni ngaphakathi nonke ndiyanibulisa. Igama lami ngu Elvis Gwiliza. Ndiphansi kwebandla le-Revelation Church of God. Ona mbuzo nawo ke mna uthi kuyi-CRL umthetho loba umuntu over 18 years unelungelo nokwenza ntoni na. So kushuthi they deny leyo nto bona ukuthi basikhethele basifuna ukukhonza njani. Umbuzo nawo lo.
Enkosi kakhulu. Ndizawucela ababa lezi orange. Ndiyabona ngo-cousin benye ipati. Eyizama.
Madume, yabulela mo ke kgothatso Mafiri. I'm going to slightly address some of the presentations that were brought forward by the speakers. And Mr. Swain, it's very interesting what you were saying, that there was so much noise about them in the media when they had to do the summons. You were hearing every day, Pastor who, Prophet who are not coming forward. But it's very interesting that now when they have to go back to Parliament, there's nothing that is being heard. All of they've done different things. And I'd like to say that personally I knew them. I've heard of them before all this nonsense. And unlike them, we do acknowledge that they've done both good and bad. Recently, one good thing that I remember them doing is that in 2014, they were fighting the reburying of people over other graveyards. You find that someone died and they were buried there, and then they wanted to bury another person that is not even blood related or of any relation to them. We commend that. That was good. They were fighting for the rights of religious people and whatever they're supposed to be doing. But now the question is, okay, I've also had another encounter with them in 2014. They were having, I think, coming to think of it, I think this is what actually motivated what's the nonsense that they're doing now. But then they made it look like it was something that was very good. Because when they were there, it was a discussion and I'm going to tell you as an indigenous knowledge system specialist, qualified. We are not one as Africans. We come in as different entities. You are made up by different things. You are made up by your social life, your personal life, your religion, your culture, and your traditions. So this goes back to your bloodline. Who are you? What are you? What have you done? What have your ancestors done? And how have your ancestors invested to make you what you are today? So these are things that they were tackling. I commend that too. That was good. But then they now twisted it to come to this nonsense that we're facing today. How do we come back to being us as Africans? Because they lost it along the way where they now start summoning. With the summoning happening, there is no proper protocol that is taking place. And we can look at Mam Kaluva with respect, if I should say that, if she deserves any, which I believe respect is earned, but she hasn't done that very well. You look at her history. She has a golden history. And she's rebellious. We have rebellious prophets and religious leaders and all that. I'm Betty, and I'm going to say this in Spedi. She cannot see herself because she herself has a bad history of showing barbaric attitudes. And then she's one to finally speak that there are religious leaders that are doing the same thing. There's many other things that they've done as the CRL. They've been working with SAQA, South African Qualifications Authority, where they've been trying to work in partnership with traditional health practitioners and indigenous health practitioners, where they're saying that they want to register traditional healers. Isangoma is now going to be given or not an option. They go through their process and initiation. After they go through their initiation, they are going to be given a level of entry, like when you have your level NQF6, NQF7, NQF8, and all that. That is nonsense. I repeat. How do you do that? Firstly, you look at the panel of people that are involved in all this. They do not have any background or any qualifications or expertise to be people that are actually talking about these things. And Bamdongo, there's one other interesting thing that you said. One about how the reports is so academic. They always do that. I was recently at a conference where they had traditional leaders from across the countries, your kings and queens from across the country. They had the very same reports. It was academic. And when asked, I personally asked, when I'm sitting in front of the lecture and they're telling me what to do, it doesn't make sense, because there are certain things that need practicality and then there are certain things that need your academics. And the moment you're taking us to academics, you're taking us back to all the different other systems that happen.